so long. Thank yous. I could open with Where Have You Been All Year, but I shan't. I'll move on. G'day, welcome to Cheese Shop Christmas Party number 4. And indeed the final Cheese Shop Live for 1995. All of those who said are welcome to come back next week. Just don't expect any of us to be here. So, this is it. This isn't ours, by the way, all this. The decorations, sure, but none of this. Basically, what we're looking at here is Musicians Demarcation. It's the band that was in on, I think it was Saturday night. No one's allowed to bump out, apparently. So we'll just have to work around that. Oh, I don't know. If luck's going our way, we might find someone who can play them later on. That'd be wonderful. But look, it's made us put the tree right over there. Now, some of you won't be able to see it, which is a shame because it's a Altona Gate Canadian spruce. It's a bit of a tradition. I'm the only bloke in Australia, I think, who has a Christmas tree with all the decorations that goes up for 3 hours a year. And it goes down again. And in keeping with tradition, of course, those of you lucky enough to see will be able to see the skull of the beast head there with the glowing red eyes. There's a tradition here because clearly the bulk of your Canadian spruce there to just under his chin is very Christian, and then there's just that little bit for the Dark Master. Just for those of you that choose to follow his camp. Okay? Fine. Now, we're going to do an experiment tonight. It's a very bold experiment, and it's later on. And basically, it's a sort of experiment that's never been tried by us before, and to the best of my knowledge, never been tried to the extent we're going to try it by anyone. I'd like to just say in advance that we don't normally like to have this many guinea pigs for an experiment, but the Cheese Shop is not one to do things by halves. I'll warn you later, it could involve this. We'll see how we go. Let's look at the news. What have we had? Only one thing it was to be this week. Michael Jackson in hospital. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Apparently he's going to live. Let me see, he went in, he claimed to be feeling very, very wrong and unwell. Sorry? His head fell off, apparently. Okay. Oh, look, anything you want to give us, you know, just making shit up now. So he went in there and yeah, really crook. And they did all the tests. They took your blood tests and all sorts of like probes and scans. Everything's normal. Hello? Would that not be his problem right there? He's not feeling himself. So that's... it wasn't meant to be a double entendre, by the way. Those of you that found it so could just leave now. But look, enough of that's the only thing that's happened this year or this week that interested me. So let's just look briefly, because tonight is it's about so many things, but it is also about saying thank you 95, but could you just fuck off now, please? So I don't know who's. It's very weird to ask this many people all at once, but like, all right, just personally, 95 for me was a bit better than sort of 93, 94, but nothing actually happened. That was my year. How did we find it as a group? How was your year? Good. Same. Did anyone have a worse year than they did in 94? Fucking hell. Oh, I don't know what to say other than tough. I'm fine. 95 for me, no matter, decades from now, 95 for me will be remembered as the year I had to deal with that weird image of the mouse with the human ear on its back. That's 95 for me. I don't know. What else happened? We had, of course, it's the year of tolerance. That's good. But you've only got to put up with that for about 2 more weeks. That's all right. We had another memorable story for 95 was 95 is the year that McDonald's tried to get into India, open stores in India, and hit a bit of a brick wall because the cow is a sacred beast. In India. This is all true. So they, not to be beaten, they came up with the idea of having goat burgers. And they did, and they opened in India. I believe the menu included things like your quarter pounder McNanny with cheese, and of course your filet o goat. But then everything's going well, and then the Satanists got up in arms because, of course, the goat is sacred to your Satanist. And basically, if anyone's going to slaughter a goat, it'll be us, and in the tried and true manner of bloody sacrifice to the Dark Master, if you don't mind. Going to be that lot. They did that. Yeah, and the other memorable thing in '95 for me, I think, of course, it was the 50th anniversary of the end of your WW2. Yeah, some of you were there. And it's most memorable for me as an anniversary because I was around at my grandmother's place earlier on in the year, and a story came on the telly about all these celebrations that were planned for the big anniversary. She saw this, read into it in her own little way, whatever she read, and just jumped up, punched the air, which is not easy for my gran, punched the air and said, "Hurrah, the war is over, your grandfather will be home soon." Now, she's a sweet old thing, so all I can say really is, well, I had to dress up as my granddad, and you don't really want to know the rest, okay? But roll on 96. Okay, we have an extraordinarily big night tonight, including a very bold experiment. Are we, as a group, as a room full, and I use that word advisedly, full of people up for it? Are you ready to get that applause going right now? And to kick it off, please welcome Mr. Darren Casey.